Hi, I am, as you know, an audiobook narrator, and one of the greatest accolades a narrator of audiobooks can receive is to win an Audio Award from the Audio Publishers Association. This is the time of the year the nominations have come out. The Audio Awards themselves take place in about a month's time at the end of May in New York City. I've been fortunate enough to receive quite a number of nominations over the years and have won several Audies as well. This year I have 5 books in the running, and a couple of those have got multiple nominations. So what I thought I'd do is tell you about these books in the hope that it might answer the question for some of you as to which of my books should you listen to. It's hard for me to recommend any particular book if I don't know what kind of genre you like to listen to. And what's good here is that the judges have made the choices for me by nominating these 5 books, and hopefully you'll find something here that might spark your interest. So I'm going to tell you about the first one. This is called The Good Thief's Guide to Vegas, and it's by Chris Ewan, British author. He's created a wonderful character called Charlie Howard. He's a bit of a rascal. He's a gentleman thief. He's a writer. He goes from city to city getting inspiration for the books that he's writing, and at the same time when he's in these cities he likes to indulge in a little petty larceny and gets himself into all kinds of scrapes. Great sense of humour, lovely series of books. This is The Good Thief's Guide to Vegas. There's also Amsterdam in the series. That's the very first one if you're looking for that. Amsterdam, Paris, Vegas, Venice, and there's a new one coming out in a couple of months, The Good Thief's Guide to Berlin. And that's nominated in the mystery category. Moving on to the classics category now, and The Prime Minister by Anthony Trollope. I love narrating Trollope. I did his Barsetshire series of 6 novels a couple of years back, beginning with The Warden, which was also nominated for an Audie. I was going to say an Oscar. That's because we think of these Audies as the Oscars of the audiobook industry. We're not modest about it, you know. The Prime Minister is the 5th in the Palliser series by Trollope, which begins with a book called Can You Forgive Her? The last in the series is called The Duke's Children. This is The Prime Minister by Anthony Trollope, nominated in the classics category. Then my favourite book of the year, last year, Bring Up the Bodies by Hilary Mantel, an extraordinary novel. It's the follow-up to her first in this series. She's doing a couple more books in this series, Wolf Hall. They all look at from the point of view of Thomas Cromwell, Henry VIII's advisor at the time of his 6 wives and so on. They're wonderfully written. They feel very contemporary, but they're sort of historical fiction, and this is nominated in the literary fiction category. Wolf Hall won the Man Booker Prize for Hilary Mantel a couple of years ago, and then unprecedentedly Bring Up the Bodies also won her a Man Booker Prize last year. So that's an excellent recommendation, and they're wonderful books. So if you like historical fiction, that's one to look for. Now we come on to one of the multiply nominated, if that's a word, books. It's called The Tao of Pooh. That's sort of a classic too, in a way. It was written in 1982. It's been on the bestseller lists for some years, written by Benjamin Hoff. Apparently he was working in a Japanese tea garden in Washington State at the time that he was writing this. And it serves to introduce us to the tenets of Taoism using the characters created by A.A. Milne. There's Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, Rabbit, Owl. They're all in this, and each of the chapters looks at a different aspect of Taoism. That's nominated in 3 categories, as I say. Personal development, inspirational faith-based fiction, and finally Best Solo Male Narration, which I won last year for The King's Speech, another good book to look out for. The Tao of Pooh by Benjamin Hoff. Finally, Dracula by Bram Stoker. I think you know this story. This is nominated in 2 categories, classic and multiple voiced. And the multiple voices are, apart from me, a couple of actors you may have heard of, Tim Curry and Alan Cumming, as well as some colleagues of mine, Catherine Kelgren and John Lee amongst them. I think 10 narrators make up the team on this book. And my part of it is to voice Jonathan Harker. Dracula by Bram Stoker is also nominated for award for distinguished production or distinguished achievement in production, and that's quite an achievement. So one special thing about this book is that I also recorded this as a single voice version many years ago, and it was the first book to win me an earphone award from Audiophile magazine. So if you're looking for that version, though, it doesn't go under my name, that goes under the name Robert Whitfield. I'm not going to explain why I used a different name all those years ago, but I did. So if you're looking for it online, Dracula by Bram Stoker, narrated by Robert Whitfield. But the multiple voice one is the one that's up for awards this year, classic, multiple voice, and distinguished achievement in production. Those are the 5 books. I hope you find something that sparks your interest in those. If not, well, there are several hundred other books by me out there, and you can just search under my name. I wish you the best of luck. I have work to do now. I'm just going to head off into my office, my alternative office. The sun is going down. I want to say thank you to my wife, who's been a sturdy, wonderful camera person, and who will now go into the house and bring me back a glass of wine, with a little spritzer in it, I think. In the meantime, I'm going to finish studying. So I wish you well. The Audies themselves take place in New York City, May the 30th. I'll let you know how they go later. Excuse me, I have work to do.